Across the battlefields of early modern Europe, two elite cavalry forces earned legendary reputations. The Polish Winged Hussars, feared shock cavalry capable of breaking entire armies with a single charge, and the Ottoman Sipahi, skilled horsemen, masters of maneuver, archery, and tactical retreat. Two different worlds, two different methods of war. But if these warriors faced each other in a one-on-one confrontation, who would win? Before we begin, please support our channel with a like and subscribe. It truly helps us grow. The origins of the Polish Winged Hussars can be traced back to the 16th century, when the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth needed a fast, highly mobile cavalry force. Early hussars were lightly armored, inspired by Balkan riders, but over time they evolved into a powerful, elite shock cavalry. By the late 16th and early 17th centuries, the hussars became the pride of the Polish nobility. Only wealthy families could afford the horse, the armor, and the specialized training required for this role. Their legendary reputation was built through countless victories against much larger armies, in battles such as Kirchholm, Kruschen, and Vienna. These victories gave the hussars a nearly mythical status in European warfare. From noble upbringing, strict riding discipline, and an unmatched mastery of the lance, the Winged Hussars were born from a culture that demanded honor, precision, and fearlessness on the battlefield. The Sipahi were the backbone of the Ottoman Empire's cavalry from the 14th to the 17th century. They weren't mercenaries, they were landholding soldiers rewarded with farmland in exchange for military service. This system was known as the Taimar, and it allowed the empire to maintain a large and loyal cavalry without constantly paying them from the treasury. Sipahi were trained from a young age to ride, shoot, and maneuver with exceptional control. Many came from rural noble families, raised with a deep respect for horsemanship and martial discipline. They fought in countless campaigns across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, controlling conquered lands, enforcing imperial will, and providing the Sultan with a highly flexible fighting force. Their identity was shaped by mobility, skill, and service to the empire. In many ways, Sipahi were the Ottoman answer to Europe's elite cavalry traditions. The primary weapon of the Winged Hussar was the lance, a massive spear up to 4 meters long, designed for a single devastating impact. When a hussar charge connected, the momentum could shatter shields, break formations, and send enemy cavalry into chaos. After the first strike, hussars switched to a curved saber called the sabla. It was perfect for slashing from horseback, with a sharp curve that delivered clean, powerful cuts. Some hussars also carried pistols for close-range shots, and occasionally a short war hammer or mace, useful for breaking armor if the fight turned personal. Their armor was surprisingly light: a steel breastplate, arm guards, and an open-faced helmet. It offered protection without sacrificing speed. And of course, the wings. Whether for intimidation, defense against lassos, or simple pride, they became the most iconic symbol of a hussar charging toward glory. The Sipahi's most important weapon was the composite bow, a compact, powerful design built from wood, horn, and sinew. Unlike European longbows, it could be fired easily from horseback, even at full speed. With this bow, Sipahi could harass an enemy from a distance, weaken their formation, and force them into mistakes before closing in. For close combat, they relied on the yataghan, a short, curved blade ideal for tight, fast strikes. Light and controllable, it fit perfectly with their mobile style of fighting. Some Sipahi also carried spears or javelins, allowing for quick thrusts or throw attacks while maneuvering around heavier cavalry. Their armor was typically lighter than a European knight's. often leather, fabric, or mail. This reduced protection, but gave them incredible freedom of movement and stamina in long engagements. Together, the bow, the yataghan, and their light gear made the Sipahi a deadly combination of mobility and precision. The Winged Hussars relied on one thing above all: the shock charge. Their tactics were built around speed, formation, and a devastating first impact. Before the attack, Hussars formed a tight wedge, a formation that focused all momentum into a narrow point. This allowed them to punch through infantry lines, break cavalry formations, and cause immediate panic. At full gallop, their 4-meter lance struck with incredible force. When hundreds of hussars charged together, the impact could shatter even the strongest enemy defenses. If the lance broke, they instantly switched to their curved saber, slicing past opponents while riding through the chaos they just created. Unlike many heavy European knights, hussars prioritized mobility. Their lighter armor meant they could charge, regroup, and strike again, cycling through the enemy like a hammer. But the true power of their tactic wasn't just physical. The noise of hooves, the sight of wings, and the speed of the attack created fear before the first blow even landed. A perfectly executed hussar charge could win a battle in seconds. The Sipahi's greatest tactical advantage was mobility. They rarely charged head-on. Instead, they used speed, distance, and precision to exhaust their opponents. Before closing in, Sipahi would circle the enemy, firing arrows from horseback while constantly moving. Their composite bows allowed them to shoot accurately, even while riding at full speed. This constant pressure forced opponents to react, breaking formations, slowing momentum, and creating openings. Once the enemy was weakened or disorganized, Sipahi switched to close combat. Here, they used their curved yataghan or short spear, striking quickly and then pulling away before the opponent could respond. Their horses were trained to turn sharply and accelerate instantly, giving them control of the battlefield's tempo. Against heavier cavalry, they avoided direct collisions. Instead, they outmaneuvered, harassed, and waited for the perfect moment to strike. Their fighting style was about patience, precision, and making the enemy fight on their terms. When executed correctly, Sipahi tactics could wear down even the strongest opponents, long before the final blow was delivered. All right, let's watch the simulation. On an open field, 2 elite horsemen stare each other down. The tension is heavy. Each rider knows that a single mistake could mean defeat. The Sipahi moves first. He circles wide, firing arrows from horseback while constantly shifting his position. His goal is to weaken the hussar before risking close combat. Arrows whistle through the air. One strikes the hussar's armor, but fails to pierce. The hussar doesn't panic. He keeps his guard tight behind his long lance, slowly building speed. He refuses to take the bait. His horse accelerates. Dust rises behind him. The Sipahi tries to lure him into a chase. Sharp turns, feints, sudden volleys, hit and run. But the hussar stays focused, closing the distance step by step. And then, the moment arrives. The hussar lowers his 4-meter lance. His horse breaks into a full gallop. The ground shakes beneath the hooves. This is the power of the shock charge. The Sipahi swerves left at the last second, trying to dodge, but it's too late. The lance glances across his shoulder, nearly knocking him out of the saddle. His bow falls to the ground. Wounded and desperate, the Sipahi draws his yataghan. He charges in, trying to land a quick strike. But the hussar is ready. His saber flashes in the sunlight, a clean, practiced slash. The Sipahi attempts one final counterattack. Too slow. The saber finds its target. The Ottoman rider falls from his horse, rolling across the dirt. Silence fills the battlefield. On open ground, the Winged Hussar's speed, reach, and devastating lance strike give him a decisive advantage. The Sipahi's mobility and ranged attacks are dangerous, but not enough to stop the momentum of a perfect charge. Today, victory belongs to the Hussar. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more historical battles and comment which warriors should face each other next.